going on, everyone? This is Chris around the ATL on a Friday night, 10 p.m., right after a Hawks game. Don't get to do this too often, but I'm doing it tonight. Tonight, I'm actually talking about not tonight's game, but a game previously played on December 21st. But since we did have a game, let's talk about that real quick. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube channel to watch more Hawks talk. So tonight we lost the game 126 to 111. How did we lose it? I'm not sure. So we had Zach, who had 5 points. You had Dyson Daniels, who had 8 points, and you had Okongwu, who had 12 points. You add those up, those are what your three starters did. You had Okongwu, who went 5 for 16 from the floor and 0 for 5 from three. You had let's see, you had NAW go 6 for 14 in the game. You also had Jalen Johnson go 1 for 6 from three. You had Okongwu go 0 for 5 from three. Now, you don't think those are reasons that the Hawks might have lost this game? You don't think that you think that's good? Zach was minus 18 in plus and minus. Okongwu was minus 15 in plus and minus. Dyson Daniels was minus 14. And Asa Newell off the bench was minus 13. Trae was minus 1. So I don't know what kind of math y'all do, but minus 18 is worse than minus 1. Minus 15 and minus 14 is worse than minus 1. Unless y'all have some of the new math. I'm not sure. Let's check out the games charts real quick. The Atlanta Hawks gave up 66 points in the paint, 16 second chance points, and 22 fast break points. You're telling me that one player was responsible for all of that, even when one player might not even been on the floor? Because I remember watching this game, and I saw a player taking out the game, and I saw the other team score points still. I didn't see no stoppages. Trae Young had 4 turnovers in this game. The team had 21. So how does Trae have 21 turnovers when he actually had 4? I'm not understanding that. So again, this is all about, if you want to blame a player, let's blame the right player at least. But people can't even do that, even though they see these things in front of them. By the way, Trae had 36. He had a steal. He was 9 of 9 from his free throws, 5 of 8 from three. Again, 5 of 8, 0 and 5. 5 of 8, 1 and 6. Which is 6, 7, which is better, I'm not sure. But I think someone going 5 for 16 when the other player center went 7 of 10 from the floor, you don't think that mattered? He had 16 points and 13 rebounds, Khalil Ware did, and Okongwu had 12 points, 8 rebounds. He did have 4 assists, though, but that doesn't offset going 5 for 16 and 0 and 5 from three, does it? You see what the final score was? I don't understand how people say these things. When you watch the game tonight, and Tyler Hero didn't even play this game. Bam didn't even play this game. How do you excuse that? But that's tonight's game. We're going to talk about December 21st, okay? On December 21st, the Atlanta Hawks played the Chicago Bulls. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. They played the Bulls. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, we played the Bulls a few times this year, and we've lost for some reason, okay? Lost a lot, okay? Now, I've shown you previously one of those games earlier in the season where we had 3 starters do pretty good in that game, and we had 2 starters combined for 4 points in that game. Here, listen to this. This is the 4th game now where 2 of our starters combined. Let me go back again. Zach had 5 points in this game, and Dyson Daniels had 8 points. This is another game where they 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points or less. This is the 4th time that's happened this season. 3 of them were without Trae Young. We lost all of those games. This game, Trae was actually the second game with Trae Young and 2 games without Trae Young. But here it is again. You got 2 starters. One had 8, one had 5. One had 8 and one had 5. One had 8 and one had 5. You don't think both of them not getting double digits? Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Hawks versus Bulls, where the Hawks lost the game by 2 points, 152 to 150. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, here's what I want y'all to do, because I'm not going to use video in this particular episode. Okay, because I'm still not sure what the NBA wants to do with my plugs in regards to using video, where I've done so many using it and never had a problem. I don't want to risk my page getting blocked or cut off and things of that nature. So I'm not going to do video today, but I might do it later. Okay. But I'm going to go through possession for possession as I usually do. So here's what I want you to do. If you're watching this episode from the beginning, especially, here's what I suggest you do. You can go to NBA.com and you click, well, you find December 21st, Hawks versus Bulls, 152 to 150 is the final score, right? And you click on play-by-play on the NBA.com website, and you can see the possessions as I go through them yourself. You can watch what happens as I describe it. Okay, because again, you don't got to believe me. You can look for yourself if you take the time to do it. I've taken the time for you. Okay, so that being said, what is this right here? Hide. There's new functions on here. I'm just noticing this. I'm not sure what it means. We'll have to experiment another time. All right. So again, the reason I started doing game reviews is not in favor of a player over another player. It's just the principle of, if you're going to make a statement, you need to prove it. So I said, well, I'll prove it with y'all. Okay. And we'll find out together whether or not you're right or not. Okay. The premise is, it's Trae Young's fault for everything bad that happens with the Atlanta Hawks. And I just don't agree with that. So I said, well, let's find out. Because by definition, if one player is the worst defender on the team, are there not supposed to be better defenders on the team? Aren't there? And why can't they stop anybody if that's true? Or is it maybe we just don't have any defenders on our team ever for 7 seasons? Maybe that's more true than anything, right? Because whoever is the worst defender should give up the most points each night, correct? Am I wrong? Why would I be not correct in that statement right there? But don't you have an expectation that the people who are supposed to play defense, supposed to be good at defense, be actually good at defense? Because in this game alone, if we had a couple of people who played some defense, other than Trae Young, we win that game. But take defense out of it, and I'm going to get to this. Take defense all the way out of it. If people would just hit shots, we would have won this game. 152 to 150 is how we lost it. We scored 150 and it wasn't enough. We should have had more. I'm going to show you in a little bit. Just like the game tonight. People just miss shots. Continuous misses. Miss. Layups, dunks were missed. It had nothing to do with Trae Young. It don't got nothing to do with him. Does it? Turnovers galore. Trae had 4 of them. He sure did. He didn't have 21. He just didn't. He didn't. He did not. It's a fact. And Miami scored on almost all those turnovers too. Anyway, let's talk about the December 21st game, because I'm getting mad about talking about tonight's game. So Sunday, December 21st, the Bulls played the Hawks. They beat them 152 to 150. And again, go to NBA.com right now, click on play-by-play. You can follow along. Now, as I usually do, I start going by what actually happened in the game per the other team. So the Bulls, their top 3 scorers, Buzelis had 28, White had 21, Giddey had 19. FYI, Kevin had 16 points off the bench. I'm not sure who was guarding him. Ao had 13 off the bench. Trae Jones had 11. Collins had 10 off the bench. That's 4 players for the Bulls had double figures in that game. I'm not sure who was responsible for them, but they didn't stop them. The Bulls had 66 points in the paint in that particular game, 15 second chance points, and 26 fast break points. They hit 47% from three. They hit 23s in that game. Now, again, can one player give up 66 points in the paint? The answer is no, because there's more than one player on the team. Can they give up 15 second chance points by themselves? 26 fast break points? Can one player give up all 23s? Because that's what you have to prove. You have to prove that. You do. One player can't give up 152 points. They just can't do it. Now, for the Hawks, Zach had 16 points, pretty good shooting night, 6 of 11. He was 4-7 from three, played 24 minutes, though. He only played 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. We lost his game by 2. Pretty good shooting night. We lost his game by 2. He played 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. Coaching matters, guys. JJ had 36 points on 12 of 20 shooting. He was 2 of 6 from three, had 11 boards, 9 dimes. Okongwu had 23 points on 10 of 18 shooting, 3 of 7 from three, 7 boards, 6 dimes. If we had Okongwu hitting shots like that tonight, we probably beat the Miami Heat tonight, huh? Dyson had 8 points on 3 of 9 shooting, had 9 boards, 9 assists, 2 steals, kind of evened out his bad shooting that night. Trae had 35 points on 10 of 16 shooting, 6 of 9 from three, had 9 assists. Moji had 2 points in 12 minutes. NAW had 9 points on 3 of 12 shooting. Remember, we lost this game by 2. December 21st, 152 to 150. Dyson had 8 points in that game. NAW had 9 points in that game, 3 of 12 shooting. He was 1 of 6 from three. He had 3 turnovers in that game as well. 2-point loss. Vic had 20 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 6 of 10 from three. He didn't have a board or an assist in that game. Luka didn't have any points. Luke didn't have any points, and Asa didn't have any points. Hawks had 50 points in the paint, 20 second chance points, 22 fast break points. They shot 48% from three, had 23 threes, and we lost the game anyway still by 2. So one of the segments I started about a year ago, points left on the board from missed shots created by Trae Young. Okay. 2024 season, the Hawks lost 24 games by 10 points or less, mostly not because of defense, it's because we left 18 to 40 points a game on the board from missed shots created by Trae Young, which is why for the second season in a row, Trae Young led the NBA in potential assists a game at 21. 21. And he led the league with 11 assists. What if people just hit their shots? We lost this game by 2. So let's talk about that. But again, if you're on NBA.com, you can go to play-by-play, and you can watch everything for yourself. But here's what happened in the first quarter. Zach missed a wide-open 3 on an escape dribble, pass from Trae. He missed it. Okongwu missed a floater in the paint from Trae. He missed it. That's 5 points in the first quarter. We lost this game by 2. There was 5 points right there. Missed. Second quarter, there wasn't any by Trae. However, NAW missed a dunk. It was wide open. It was a fast break off a turnover from the Bulls, and NAW missed a dunk. Remember, we lost by 2 points. At worst, we could have been tied and went to overtime if he had hit that dunk. That happened at the 149 mark in the second quarter. If you want to look it up on the NBA.com website, play-by-play, go to the second quarter, I should say, go to the 149 mark, and you'll see NAW miss a fast break dunk. Didn't have nothing to do with Trae Young. Trae Young wasn't on the floor, I believe, on that particular possession. He missed the dunk. How do you blame Trae Young for that? That's 2 points we didn't get. Third quarter, Okongwu, 2 points. Zach, 2 points. JJ, wide open 3 from Trae. Missed it. Dyson, layup. Missed a layup. That's another 2 points right there. Vic, off a curl. Trae waited for him to come all the way around. Pass it to him. Vic missed a 3. Okongwu. Trae Young was trapped. Have Vucevic and whoever number 30 is, I think that's Jones. Trae passes behind his back to Okongwu. Okongwu puts up a 15-foot push shot. Missed it. 14 points in the third quarter alone. Missed shots from Trae Young. We lost this game by 2. 14 points in the third alone. We lost this game by 2. So Trae is responsible for the people missing their shots too. He passes them the ball. He has the audacity, right, to pass people the ball still. But that's just the third quarter. Here's the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, Okongwu, 3, air ball. Fourth quarter, NAW, 3, miss. Fourth quarter, NAW, 3, wide open because Buzelis didn't even contest the shot. 3, wide open, missed again. Okongwu, 3, open, missed again. 12 more points in the fourth quarter. 31 points off of 12 passes. We lost this game by 2 points. We left 31 points on the board in 4 quarters of basketball. In a game, we scored 150 points. Trae had 9 assists in the game. What's 12 plus 9? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. He should have had 21 assists in this game if we had just hit our shots. We didn't hit our shots. We just needed one person to hit a shot. One of those threes, we win the game by 1. So explain to me how that alone is Trae's fault. Because that's what you have to do. You have to explain how it's Trae's responsibility to make sure that he merges like a X-Men character or whatever into the body of the player that he passes the ball to help them hit their shot, hit the layup, hit the dunk, hit the wide open 3. 14 points in the third, left on the floor, 12 points in the fourth quarter. We lost the game by 2. Vic was 1 of 4 in the fourth quarter, people. NAW was 0 and 2 in the fourth quarter. Okongwu was 1 of 5 in the fourth quarter. You don't think those 3 players shooting like that had anything to do with that 2-point loss against the Chicago Bulls? You're weird. Lost the game by 2. We just needed one of those people to hit a shot. So let's get into the game now. How did the Bulls score 152 points? Remember, Trae Young is on a minutes restriction still in this game. He played 26 minutes in this game. He had 36 and 9 on 26 minutes of a 48-minute game. How did Trae give up 152 points if he only played 26 minutes? The math doesn't math, y'all. Sorry. So at the beginning of this game, here's the assignments. Okongwu has Vucevic, Dyson has Giddey, Trae has Okoro, Zach has White, and JJ has Buzelis. Okay. And again, if you're watching this or whenever you do watch this, whenever, I just scheduled this tonight, didn't pre-schedule it or anything. You can go to NBA.com, December 21st, Bulls versus Hawks, and go to play-by-play, and you can follow along with me. Because I'm not going to do the video here as I usually do. I'm going to just tell you what happened. You don't got to believe me. You can watch it for yourself. So I urge you to do that if you're not scared, okay? Because all I could do is tell you what happened in the game. That's all I'm doing. First shot, Giddey is bringing the ball up. He gives it to White. Okoro starts in the corner, then dives in front of Trae towards the basket. White passes the ball over the top like a quarterback. Trae waves at it like a cornerback, and Okoro lays it up. That's the first 2 points of the game. Trae gave up those first 2 points. Sure did. Did you hear me say it? Trae gave up the first 2 points of the game. The first 2 of 152, apparently, that he's going to give up all 152 points, right? Some of you are happy and excited, right? Trae Young gave up the first basket of the game. Second shot, Giddey is bringing the ball up. Vucevic just stands there at the top of the key. Dyson gets around him. Before I continue, the Hawks don't know how to play pick and roll defense. They don't know how to fight through screens. They can't fight through screens. They don't know how to switch. They don't communicate on defense. They don't block out. They don't get back on defense. They don't stop the ball on fast breaks. I've told you all of this, right? Okay, so Giddey is bringing the ball up. Vucevic is just standing there at the top of the key. Dyson gets around him. Unfortunately, since we don't know how to play pick and roll, Okongwu doesn't care that Dyson got around. He's still going to trail and follow the ball handler instead of staying with Vucevic. So what happens? He decides, since O doesn't want to guard his man, right? And also in this play, if you watch, ZR is the help defender. Giddey dribbles twice. Vucevic is standing at the 3. Guess what he does? Hits the 3. Because there was nobody to contest the shot. because Okongwu is just somewhere over the rainbow. He ain't going to come up. He's going to disengage and go back to the basket like that's his job. That's not his job on that pick. His job is to come up and engage. Or if your man gets around it, just stay with your man. If we just stayed with our men and assignments the whole game, half the points that are scored against the Hawks would never happen. But the NBA knows we don't know how to play the pick and roll. And I've been saying this for like 3-4 years straight now and showing it to you on tape. That's the second shot of the game. Third shot, remember, Zach has White. So for some reason, Okongwu in this particular possession is not on Vucevic. Dyson has to pick him up. Trae has to pick up Buzelis because JJ is on the other side of the floor for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okoro drives, and even though Trae and Dyson are there as help defenders, Zach leaves his man. He runs to the paint. And in fact, there are 4 Hawks looking at the ball handler. Nobody's attached to anybody. Okoro dump passes it to Vucevic, who then passes it back out to the top where White is, and of course, hits the 3 again. Zach didn't want to stay with his man. Gives up the points. Fourth shot. Now, I've told y'all, NBA knows we don't know how to play the pick and roll. I'm going to keep repeating this because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Y'all know that song? Vucevic is standing at the top of the key again. Dyson again, staying with Giddey. And again, Okongwu is looking at Giddey as if he's guarding him. Dyson, that's his man. Vucevic goes to the paint where Giddey gives him the ball and he scores. You got to make him get a layup. Giddey, you got to make Giddey make that layup. But no, we don't want to do that. We're going to just make it easy for the other team to score because we're not going to stay with man. Okongwu gives up another bucket. Fifth shot, we can't play the fast break because nobody talks. Communication, you know how I always talk about that? No one tells anybody anything. Pointing is not defense. Hoping the other team misses a shot is not defense. Nobody takes an assignment on a fast break. If you get beat, your job, hey, get Buzelis. I got Giddey. See, that's defense. We don't do that. And we just lollygag back. Like we're off to see the wizard. We just going backwards. We're just doing the moonwalk. But we're not attached to anybody. We're just happy that we're getting back across the half court line. That's what we do. We have no sense of urgency. I've shown you the tape. Anyway, so because nobody talks, we just get back. White has the ball in this fast break. JJ is there, but he's supposed to have Buzelis, of course, who is walking across the court. Okongwu could have picked him up, but he leaves him as he sees White driving. Meanwhile, Vucevic has been slowly moving down the court. Nobody picks him up. Trae has picked up Giddey. We again have 4 Hawks looking at the ball, looking at White in particular. Okongwu, Zach, JJ, and Dyson. Okongwu and Okoro and Buzelis are free. So when White gets to the paint, he could give it to Vooch, or he could pass it to Okoro, or he could pass it to Buzelis. So when White gets to the paint, he passes to Okoro, my bad, who fakes to Buzelis as Dyson has come out. JJ is just standing in the paint. He could have gotten back to his man, right? But guess what? Buzelis gets the pass and he hits a 3. Just because. 6th shot of the first quarter. This is just the first quarter, by the way. Off a missed 3 by JJ, Buzelis gets the board, and because Giddey had JJ is going down the other end of the court. So Trae picks up Buzelis on the fast break. Vucevic sets a pick to brush Trae off. Trae makes it around. Buzelis drives to the basket. Okongwu contests. He just hits a good shot. I mean, it's a contested shot. He did all he could, but he gives up the bucket. Nothing you can do about that. 7th shot, Trae has Okoro. On this play, Okoro basically slides from one end to the 3-point stripe to the other. Trae doesn't move at all. Giddey passes him the ball, and of course, Okoro hits the 3. It's a bad look because Trae didn't move in that particular possession. He just stood right here, basically. It's right there. And Okoro came behind him and came all the way to the top of the 3. And then Giddey passing the ball, and he hits the 3. That's on Trae. That's a 3-pointer on Trae right there. Didn't look good. So, did you hear the words I just said out of my mouth? Trae gave up that 3. It looked bad. Y'all want me to talk about this one particular play for the rest of the game? Or do you want me to go through all the other possessions of all the other points that were given up? See, that's the difference. You see what I'm saying? There's a whole squad of people on the team. It's not just one person. And when I get to the end, I'm going to tell you who all gave up the points and who gave up the most points. You're not going to like it, but I'm going to tell you it anyway. Eighth shot of the game. At the start of the play, Okongwu has Buzelis. Not sure why. Zach has White. Dyson has Giddey. JJ is closest to Okoro, and Trae has Vucevic now. With a missed shot by White and a tip out, Giddey gets the ball eventually. Nobody is talking. So Vucevic is not being guarded by anybody now. And as Okongwu is still in the paint, just Zach has Buzelis now. Dyson is on White. JJ is on Okoro. Giddey drives. Trae goes with him. Okongwu is looking at him. JJ is looking at him. Giddey raises up and passes to Okoro. JJ now, he had his back. He was back there. But while Okongwu is in the paint to contest, he's just too far away. So guess what? Another shot given up for no reason. Ninth shot of the first quarter. JJ has Giddey. Vuce has the ball in the corner. Giddey motions towards Vucevic. JJ, for some reason, looks at Vucevic, turns his back to Giddey, who he was guarding. And Giddey immediately cuts to the basket and gets a dunk. You just turn. And Giddey just whoop, dunk, 2 points. There is no rhyme or reason why JJ turned. He didn't need to do it. He did it anyway. 10th shot, stay with your man. Don't know why y'all don't understand this. If you stay with your man, the other team has to do something different. When you don't stay with your man, makes it easy for the other team to score on you. You stay with your man until you have to leave your man, not before. Giddey has the ball against Trae. He's posting him up. Now, Giddey is posting up Trae Young. If you're going to double, you need to make a more of a non-half-hearted attempt at a double, but you really only need to do it at the point of he possibly is going to score, not way before. Let Trae try to play defense. Giddey ain't a post-up player anyway. 50-50 is going to hit that shot, but that's not what the Hawks do. JJ also was the help defender. So even if Trae lost him, you got JJ right there to block a shot or whatever, contest a shot. But that's not what the Hawks do. Instead, Zach left his man on the other side of the court. He runs. And he's legit standing in the paint. Giddey turns and passes to the wide open Okoro that Zach just left. And of course, he hits a three. Nobody talked. Nobody said, hey, pick up, rotate. Nobody does nothing. When you leave your man and don't give no indication that you left your man, you don't talk. Hey, stay there, Chris. Hey, you see what I'm saying? Hey, help. Nobody says nothing. That's not basketball, y'all. That's the 10th shot of the first quarter. I'm still going. 11th shot. Vic gives up a layup to Kevin off a curl. Trae ain't on the court. 12th shot. Jones gets right around NAW for a layup. Trae is not on the court. 13th shot of the first quarter. Dyson gives up a fast break three to Kevin. Kevin Herter, that is. Trae still not on the court. 14th shot. Off a missed three from NAW. Bulls get a fast break. Nobody gets back. Streaking Kevin gets a layup. Nobody talks. JJ could have got back, didn't move. He saw Kevin flash by NAW. He saw it. JJ was there. He could have got back. He just didn't. By the way, Trae is still not in the game. How many points is that so far? Let's see. A three, another three, two. 15th shot. Jones drives to the basket on Vic and hits. Trae is still not in the game. 16th shot. Williams gets 2 offensive rebounds on Vic, Okongwu, and Moji, and NAW. And NAW was blocking out Vuce before the shot went out. I'm giving this to Okongwu, though, because he was right there. Jones is not that big. Trae's still not in the game, by the way. How did the Bulls score 13 points and Trae is not even on the court? 13 points. Again, if you're looking at NBA.com and going play-by-play, how the Bulls scored all their points, I just outlined 13 points given up. Trae is not even on the court. Second quarter, first shot, second quarter. Trae is still not on the floor, by the way. White on an off dribble motion passes to Smith. Smith gives a hard dribble handoff to Buzelis and sets up a pick on Vitt. That stops Vitt. Vitt can't get through it. I'm weak. I can't get through the screen. Oh, I'm held up, right? Asa, who has Smith, doesn't come up to contest. He just sits there. Of course, he hits a three. I'm giving it to Asa because all he had to do is come up and contest. If he hits a shot over you and you strong contested it, you jumped up and you tried to get your wingspan because Asa is not a small person and he still hits a three, you can live with that. But you can't just sit there and do nothing. Well, I'm giving it to Asa, even though I really should give it to Vitt, but I'm giving that one to Asa. 3 points given up. Trae's still not on the floor. Guess what? Second shot, second quarter. Trae's still not back in the game. Remember, he's on a minutes restriction. All these points are being scored, guys. All these points. If Trae is so bad, when he's not on the court, we should be good on defense. Right? Zach leaves his man again. The entire Hawks team collapses to Giddey, and he passes to Ayo, who, of course, hits another three. Trae's still not in the game. Third shot, Trae is still not in the game. Giddey's at the top of the key. He drives past Luke and scores on JJ. Fourth shot, Trae is still not in the game. How many more points do we got? He's still not in the game, folks. Giddey brings the ball up and on a one-man fast break drives all the way to the basket on NAW and scores. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more points. That's 10 more points scored. So in just little bit between the first quarter and the second quarter, how many points is that now? 13 plus. That's 23 points. We lost this game by 2. And y'all say Trae Young is the reason. Trae Young is not even in the game. And they're scoring galore. Fifth shot, second quarter. Off a brush screen, Collins rolls to the basket and gets a pass from Kevin, and Collins scores on the Congu. Trae is still not on the score. That's another 2 points. That's 25 points now. Sixth shot, Trae finally is back in. But we've given up 25 points since he left the game. Kind of like tonight. Trae came out that game, guys, and Miami Heat just scored all these points somehow. Trae's not on the court, and we're supposed to be a better team when Trae is not on the court. That's what you say. That's what you keep saying, but people keep saying it and can't prove it. You can't just say these things and act like you didn't watch the game, because that's foolishness. We can see it. We synced it. Trae's back in the game, though. Jones has the ball at the top of the key. Dyson has White. For some reason, Dyson leaves White. He just left him. He turns his back. He points to the – he just points. For some reason. I don't know why. White gets the ball, and, of course, he hits a three. Dyson couldn't get back to his man in time because he left him 30 feet away. So he just turned his back to him. 7 shot, second quarter. Vucevic hits a 10-foot hook on Okongwu. That's not on Trae. 8 shot, second quarter. White drives all the way to the basket on NAW. That's not on Trae. 8 shot. 9 shot, second quarter. Jones gets a putback layup. Okongwu is there in the post. Now, I could give this to Trae for not blocking out, because Trae was there. He didn't block out. But Jones is the one who scored. Okongwu is bigger than Jones. How come Okongwu didn't get the block? But guess what? I'm going to give it to Trae. I'm going to give the 2 points to Trae because he didn't block out. He blocked out. They probably don't score. So I'm going to give it to Trae. 10th shot. Dyson has Buzelis. Unfortunately, he is nowhere near him off the fast break. Buzelis is wide open. Nobody gets back. Nobody calls out assignments again. You know what he does? Buzelis hits another three. 11 shot, second quarter. Buzelis has Trae on him now. Vucevic comes to set a pick. Trae goes under it. Buzelis hits it. I'm going to give this one to Trae because he went under the screen. You ain't supposed to do that. But what should have happened, Okongwu should have came up to contest the shot. But you know what Okongwu was doing? Disengaging as he always does. He was a slide to the back. 12th shot, second quarter. How many game reviews have I done? I said pointing is not defense, right? Off another pick and roll, Giddey goes left. Vucevic is by himself, crashing to the basket. JJ leaves Kevin and nobody rotates. He points though. Dyson had Giddey. No reason for Okongwu to follow. Trae stayed with Buzelis. I'm giving this to Okongwu because if he stays with Vooch, Kevin isn't open for another three, which of course he hits it. Halftime. It's 83-73 at halftime, folks. We're down by 10. Did Trae Young give up 83 first half points? I just gave you a diatribe and a synopsis of a whole, basically half a quarter between the first and the second where Trae Young was sitting and the Hawks gave up 25 points without Trae on the court. So did Trae give up 83 points in the first half? No, he didn't. He gave up 10. Did he give up 83? Who gave up the other 73 points? Anybody got an answer for me yet? Third quarter, first shot. Yeah, another pick and roll. Vooch crashes through the paint. Trae comes to help defend. He's not blocking the shot, though. Zach didn't, get stopped on the pick. Meaning Okongwu could have stayed with Vucevic again. This is on Okongwu. Second shot, third quarter. Giddey gets a wide open three because, again, for some reason, Dyson just leaves Giddey alone. Just like Michael Jackson, don't just leave me alone, right? Third shot, third quarter. JJ had Buzelis. Giddey throws a cross-court pass. Now, JJ tries to go and deflect it. He falls out of bounds. Buzelis gets a dunk because the team basically just stopped playing. I think I gave that one to the team, those 2 points. I think I gave that one to the team because everybody just kind of just stopped. I don't know what happened. Fourth shot, third quarter. Dyson had Giddey. White, who has the ball up top, stands with Vucevic. He sets a fake screen. Okongwu goes for it anyway and leaves Vucevic again. Meanwhile, Dyson has Giddey. And when Dyson leaves his man, because, again, NAW didn't come help defend, Giddey gets a dunk. Trae is not on the floor again. I'm giving it to Okongwu again. Because if he stays with his man, they have to do something different. Do y'all understand how stupid this is now? Fifth shot. Third quarter, JJ gives up a 3-2 Buzelis because he leaves him just kind of, I'm going to kind of contest it. Trae is not on the floor. Sixth shot, third quarter, Buzelis from three-point line drives to the basket and gets a layup on Dyson. Trae is not on the floor again. Remember, he played 26 minutes in this game. He was on a minutes restriction. How could Trae give up 152 points when he only played 26 minutes? The math doesn't math. And here's another stretch where he's not on the floor and the Hawks are giving up bucket after bucket after bucket. Seventh shot, Okoro gets a one-man fast break layup over Zach. Trae is not on the floor. Eighth shot, third quarter, Collins hits a 10-foot floater as he crashes through the basket. Nobody contests his shot. Dyson was there. Trae is not on the court. Again, are you following along on NBA.com, play-by-play, December 21st, Hawks versus Bulls? Are you following along? Because again, you don't got to believe me. You can see it for yourself. Ninth shot, third quarter. Trae still not on the court. Kevin gets a three over Dyson. 10th shot, third quarter. Collins spins. Hits a move on JJ. Gets a layup. Trae still not in the game. Look at all these points. How many points is that? Let me count this up real quick. Let's see. 2 points, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17. 17 points were scored. Trae not on the floor. How is that possible? How is that possible? Anybody got an answer? Or you just don't care? Oh, well, still, Trae is home. Stupid. 11th shot. Trae's back in the game, and Ayo drives on Trae and gets a layup. There you go. Now all is right in the world. Trae gives up another basket, right? 12th shot, third quarter. You guard who's guarding you sometimes as well, right? NAW had Ayo, but he went to crash a board. So he couldn't get back to Ayo at that point because he actually went in to try to do something positive, Trae is at the top. He's guarding against the pass from Smith to Ayo, but he decides to stop and complain that Smith had traveled, which it looked like he did. But guess what? You can't do that in that situation because you know what happens? Ayo went the rest of the way to the bucket, gets the pass, and got a layup. Nobody stopped the ball. That's on Trae right there. Because if anything, Trae could have got back, forced a 2-on-1. You never know what happens. I guard a lot of 2-on-1s in my life. I stop a lot of them from scoring. Just saying. 13th shot. AO drives around NAW for a layup. Vic kind of comes for the help defense, but he stops and lets him lay the ball up. Vic literally stopped in his tracks and basically said, "Ole." Trae did come to try to take a charge, but he got by him too. But it's on NAW though. He just went by him. Score is now 116 to 115. This is third quarter, by the way, that just ended. We're about to go to the fourth quarter. Okongwu has given up 20 points so far in this game. Dyson 16, JJ 15, and Trae 14. Zach has given up 11 points. So by the math, I'm pretty sure that 20, 16, and 15 are more than 14. So what about the other three players who gave up more points than Trae just now? That's just 3 quarters. That don't matter. We lost this game by 2. None of those players are supposed to be better than Trae Young in defense. Dyson, Okongwu, and JJ. Oh, it don't matter if they don't play no defense, right? Fourth quarter, first shot. Vucevic is at the top of the key. Dribble drives around Okongwu for a dunk. Trae's supposed to stop that. Trae wasn't on Vucevic, though. That's Okongwu's man. And Vucevic from the top of the key said, "Man, I'm going to do Ant-Man stuff out here." Dribble drove and yoked it. Second shot, fourth quarter. JJ again leaves his man open. You know what Bazelis does? Hits another 3. Trae is not in the game. Third shot, fourth quarter. Off a graze the rim air ball by Vic. Got to say that because it wasn't an air ball. It was a graze, almost an air ball. Io gets the layup again. He streaks down the court. Nobody knows he's running for some reason. Nobody gets back. Nobody is talking. JJ again is actually the one that's furthest back. No sense of urgency. He just lets Io go. 2 points. Trae is not on the court again. Fourth shot, fourth quarter, sad. Nobody talks. Just points. Off another missed shot. Ayo streaks down the court. Sound familiar? The Bulls had 26 fast break points, guys. Trae ain't on the court for most of this. He beats everyone down and gets a layup on Okongwu. We lost this game by 2 points. How many times have you heard me say Trae is not even on the court? Oh, well, we're worse when Trae is on the court playing deep. So when Trae ain't on the court, we should be balling out of control, right? That's not true. That's a lie. I'm proving that to y'all. Fifth shot. And again, I'm hoping that you're on NBA.com, play-by-play, December 21st, Bulls versus Hawks. I'm hoping you're watching this. You should be doing it. Because at the start of this possession, JJ has already left Bazelis. He's standing in the paint. You have Okongwu and Zach at the top of the key. Dyson has Io and NAW has Kevin. Collins gets the ball off the pass from White. Bazelis is cutting. NAW sees Bazelis. He has to run to try to cover. That leaves Kevin wide open for what? Another 3. And again, nobody is talking. Nobody sees where anybody is at. So if you leave your man, that man is just open because nobody's going to switch. No one's going to rotate. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the trouble I see, right? I'm giving this to JJ for being away from his man before he had to. It creates mismatches. See, the Hawks create mismatches. The mismatches aren't caused because of Trae Young. That's just a lie. There's no teams in the NBA that are saying, "Hey, come set this screen so I could be one-on-one with Trae." It didn't happen in this game. This was a game, they scored 152 points. It didn't happen. Not one time have you heard me say it, have you? We're in the fourth quarter. Ain't that amazing when you look at the game? By the way, Trae's still not in the game. 6th shot, fourth quarter. Giddey drives to the basket on Zach. Okongwu leaves his man for no reason, really, because you have to make Giddey score on Zach. Zach ain't bad at defense. Not really. Not that bad. But guess what? The moment Okongwu leaves Collins, Giddey just passes it, and Collins gets a dunk. Okongwu didn't stay with his man. 7th shot. JJ again leaves Bazelis, but this time it's Trae's fault for not staying with his man, who was Jones. Ball moves. JJ sees Jones open, leaves Bazelis. Jones passes to Bazelis, who hits the 3. That one is on Trae because he left his man that time. That's definitely his fault. 8th shot. NAW had White. He leaves White, for no reason. Of course, you know what White does? Hits a three. Nice shot. White drives on Trae and he scores. Pretty simple. Tip shot. Trae played decent defense on White, but then White gets this step through. NAW is there as a help defender. You know what NAW does? Hey, man, it's yours. You got it. Just let him score. Just let him score. All you had to do is jump. Like crisscross, jump. My daddy, man. Y'all just don't understand. 11 shot, fourth quarter. Dyson leaves Giddey open for a three. O is the help defender. Off a switch where Trae started with White. Trae is now with Giddey off a pick, but Dyson picked him back up and he left him as Jones drives to the basket. He should have stayed with Giddey. Because Giddey ended up hitting the three, y'all. And then the 12th shot, the final field goal for the Bulls. Off a turnover from JJ, Okoro gets a layup on NAW. On turnovers, I usually give the points to the person who created the turnover unless there was a defensive attempt on the other end. NAW was on the other end. He tried to stop it, couldn't stop it. That was the last field goal for the Bulls. Now, before I get into who gave up what points, the Bulls also hit 26 free throws in this game to total 152 points, okay? So just want to let you know that. So who gave up what points in this game? Trae Young, in this game that they scored 152 points, the Bulls did. Trae Young gave up 19 points, okay? 19 points. Now, not sure what kind of math y'all do out there, but 19 points is not 152 points. So who gave up the other points in this game? Well, I'm about to tell you. Okongwu gave up 26. JJ gave up 25. Dyson gave up 21. So again, if those are supposed to be your three best defenders on your team, and they give up 26, 25, and 21 points, that's more than 19. Yes, no. In a game where a team scores 150, a lot of people are going to give up points. But who gives up the most points? Trae Young didn't give up 45 points in this game. He didn't give up 60 points in this game. He gave up 19. While he scored 36 and had 9 assists, by the way. He covered his, he generated at least 54 points minimum in this game. 54 is more than 19. NAW gave up 15. Vic gave up 4. Zach gave up 11. Asa gave up 3. And remember, I gave 2 to the whole team when they didn't get back on defense. So again, explain how Trae Young gave up 152 when he only gave up 19. Explain to me how Okongwu giving up 26, which is more than Trae. JJ giving up 25, which is more than Trae. Dyson giving up 21 points, more than Trae, is positive. I just want someone to explain how that's cool. This was a winnable game. We lost this game by 2. Trae played 26 minutes. That means, let's see. There was 5 minutes in the second quarter where the Bulls scored 40. Remember, Trae played 5 minutes in the second quarter. The Bulls scored 45 points in the second quarter. How is that possible? Trae played 6 minutes and 39 seconds in the fourth quarter as the Bulls scored 36 total points. How is that possible? Trae is not on the floor. I just showed you how much he wasn't on the floor while the Bulls were scoring left and right. They couldn't be stopped. The truth again is that Trae Young is not a good defender, but he's not the worst defender on the team. He just isn't. On a night-to-night basis, it's proven. He's not the one who gives up the most points. Well, Chris, he's not guarding the best offensive player on the other team. He's not supposed to. Don't be stupid. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Why would you put your worst defender on the best offensive scorer on the other team? Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense if you're trying to win the game. But if Trae is so bad, how come anybody is not dropping 50 on him all the time, every night? Because the Hawks don't give up 150 points every night. They just don't do that. So only in these type of games, you'll see Trae give up maybe 19, 20 points, like the 157 points the Pacers put on us 3 years ago. I showed y'all that game. Everybody gave up 20 points, but 2 players gave up 30. Bruno Fernando and Mohamed Gay gave up 29 and 30 points in that game. Trae gave up 20. So again, what are we talking about here? Trae isn't the reason the Hawks lose games like that. By the way, if you take Trae out this game, his 36 and 9, the Hawks would have really been blown out. We would have given up 170 points or something like, well, not maybe not giving up 170 points. Strike that, reverse it. The Hawks would only have scored 100 points. We would have got beat by 50 if Trae didn't play that game and do what he did in that game. The rest of the roster gave up 133 points. The Hawks lost by 2. I'm waiting for someone to give an explanation on how Trae Young is responsible, and no one can do it. Again, explain how Dyson and NAW going 6 for 21 for the game and 1 of 7 from 3 for the game is not an issue in a 2-point loss. Explain to me how that's not a problem. Explain how Okongwu giving up 26 points in a 2-point loss is not an issue. Explain how Okongwu going 0 for 3 from 3 in the fourth is good. Tell me how that's good. Explain how Vic going 1 for 4 from 3 in the fourth is good. Explain how NAW going 0 for 2 from 3 in the fourth is good. I just want you to explain it. The people who believe a certain thing, you should be able to explain to me all of that. Trae, by the way, went 3 or 4 from 3 in the fourth. That's bad, I guess. He hit both his free throws. He only played 6 minutes and 39 seconds while the Bulls just ran roughshod over the Hawks. Everyone has a part in the game. Trae and the rest of the roster. 7 seasons, Trae Young has proved what he can do. He's the most consistent player we've ever had. More, except for Dominique. But with Dominique was just points, right? Dominique wasn't known as a rebounder. He wasn't a defender. Trae Young does 2 things really well. You know how we know it? Because he's 3rd all time in assists per game, and he's 12th all time in points per game. All time, NBA history. There's only 11 other players in NBA history who score more per game than Trae Young. But y'all don't care about that. Y'all want Kobe Buffkin back, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't make any sense. All we have to do is either get some better defenders on the team or get some people who can finish shots better. That's what this offseason was supposed to be about, but it ain't working out. And we have a general manager who's being real timid right now. I don't know what he's going to do, but he needs to do it quick because what we were supposed to have did not translate out. Unfortunately, Mohamed Gay is not the guy. It is what it is. You just gotta live it down. Porzingis ain't going to be available. Sorry, we wanted it to work. I wanted it to work more than anybody. Ain't working. It's not working out. Luke ain't working out. Sorry, it just is what it is. Like, he's just not productive. He's not hitting shots. Because if he can't hit shots, like, shoot, is he worse than Niang and Bogey? Maybe. On defense. At least Bogey can even his out because he can hit. Niang has his moments, but he's really bad. He's worse than Bogey. Niang is worse than Bogey, y'all. You thought Bogey would be giving up some shots. Man, Niang. One of the reasons that the Hawks for a period of time this year was better on defense because all those players, Garrison Matthews and all of them, not here no more. But now these players, again, we're giving up 119 points a game, y'all. And it's not because Trae came back. That's just not true. I just showed y'all 26 minutes of Trae Young playing in a game. So there's a lot of minutes he's not on the floor, and the Bulls were still scoring points. It ain't Trae Young. I keep showing y'all this. We saw it in Miami game tonight. Trae Young's not on the floor, and the Miami Heat was scoring left and right. And when Trae Young came back in the game, they were not scoring on Trae Young alone. They did score on Trae Young a few times. It wasn't every possession. It wasn't every possession. It was not every possession. We synced it. We synced it. And then we weren't hitting no shots. JJ was hitting shots. Trae was hitting shots. Where is everybody else at? Y'all don't care about that, huh? At a certain point, you got to realize to win, you have to have enough. The Hawks have never had enough. They didn't have it for Dominique Wilkins. What's my time? Okay, I got time. 4 minutes. They didn't have it for Dominique Wilkins. He played 12 seasons. We didn't give him nothing. Didn't give him nothing to get past the second round. We saw ISO Joe in them. We didn't give them enough. We could have gave ISO Joe in them a little bit more. We had a decent coach in Woody. We could have did something. We didn't. We chose not to. We said, nah, that's enough. We think we have enough. We don't, but we're just gonna go with what we got. Didn't give Smitty and Mutombo and Mookie enough. That was a team that could have gotten a championship, I believe. We did. We had Mutombo, defensive player of the year. You had Smitty, solid on offense. Mookie, one of the best defensive guards that you could have. Plus, he could hit that doggone three. All we needed was just a little bit more, and we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do it for those guys. Al Horford is still here. You bring in Paul and Popcorn, Kyle Corvin, everybody. Junkyard Dog. Didn't have enough. We got swept. Swept. Go look and see what the Hawks did in game 4 outside of Jeff Teague. Got swept. And then the next year, what did we do? Got swept again. I showed y'all what we did roster-wise. I've shown y'all seasons of rosters with the Hawks, both on offense and defense. I've shown y'all this. And of course, in Trae's 3rd year in the NBA, took a team that had no business getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, got to the Eastern Conference Finals. The team was 2 wins away from getting to the NBA Finals. Best ability is availability. If we had Hunter, we probably still beat Milwaukee. If we had gotten anything out of Kevin, even without Hunter, we probably still beat Milwaukee. We couldn't get nothing out of Kevin. Did we? We synced it. We didn't have enough. And then the next season, who did we add? Let me see if I still have that pulled up real quick. I do want to go over that real quick before I go. Let me see if I can find it. That's not it. What is this? Dang, I don't forgot what it was. Let me see. Hawks versus Wizards. Had to be kind of recent. Has to be one of these. What is this? Untitled. What is this? I'm trying to do this off the. Wait a minute, that's the one I'm doing tonight. I can't find it. I was going to go through who we got in 2021, and I'm not going to find it because I can't remember what I did with it. Oh, I could do it. I could do this off the fly. I don't know what I'm thinking. Hold on. So I want to show y'all, because you need to hear this, because some of you, it's just sad, really. How can I find this? Hawks roster. We did not have enough, y'all. We didn't have enough. And we could have had enough. We could have made the moves necessary. But this is what we decided to do. After getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and getting eliminated in 6 games, here's who we decided to bring on. Chauncey Brown Jr., Wes Iwundu, Cameron Oliver, Malcolm Hill, TLC, Lance Stevenson, Gorgie Jang, Kevin Knox, Cat Barber, Sharif Cooper. Am I missing one? And DeLon Wright. Don't forget DeLon. That's who we brought in. The Austin. I'll tell you. DeLon Wright, Kevin Knox, TLC, Gorgie Jang, Skylar Mays. Oh, my bad. Jalen Johnson's first year, which we weren't going to play him. We got to play TLC. We got to play TLC. TLC got to get, he got to play. He got to do something. He played 5 minutes. Jalen, so you couldn't put TLC there anymore. Miami series, after we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, we had several people hurt. Clint was hurt. He only played 2 games. John was hurt. Shouldn't even been playing at all. Bogey didn't even play game 5, right? Gallo wasn't right. So Hunter stepped up because Coach Spo said, I'm not letting Trae Young do 29 and 10 in back-to-back playoff series. Because that's what Trae Young did the year before in the playoffs. 29 and 10. 29 and 10 in the playoffs. Not good enough for y'all, right? So DeAndre Hunter averaged 21. He did his job. Trae had 15. Then it just falls off from there. Kevin had 9 points a game. DeLon Wright, 8 points a game. Bogey, 14. John, 9. Gallo, 10. Okongwu had 5. Clint, 2 points. And that was it. That's all she wrote. Now, Kevin Knox ended up having 11 points, kind of stretched out in the 2 games he played. But that was it. And we got knocked out. That was a winnable series. We just needed more than 9 points a game from Kevin Huerter. Just needed a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, right? We refuse to do more. We always decide to go backwards when it comes to rosters. We just hope for the best. We're just going to get random people instead of actually building around your best player, because that's what all the other teams in the NBA that won has done. You have a core. You need to put better players around that core, not just players. There's a difference. We don't have enough, guys. We've never had enough. This offseason, it looked like we had the semblance of having enough, and it just didn't work out. Didn't know Trae was going to go down with injury, but that shouldn't have mattered. You see, that was the other thing. Oh, well, we're playing better without Trae. No, you're playing better because you got better depth. Because this is not the same team we had a year ago, guys. Clinton's not on this team anymore. Garrison Matthews is not on this team anymore. Niang, Terrence Mann, not on this team anymore. LeVert, he didn't like to play defense either. There's a lot of people who didn't like to play defense. We gave up 119 points a game because of that. Not because of Trae. Because all those other players just weren't doing their job, except for Dyson. The reason that the Hawks were looked at as a dark horse for the championship coming into the season after the offseason was we had JJ coming back. Trae and JJ will be back together again. All of a sudden, you got Porzingis, a legit center when he's healthy. He's going to be coming in the fold, right? We were going to get more out of Zach going into his second season. We're going to get something out of Muhammad Gay going into whatever season he's going into now. Luke hitting shots, right? NAW has definitely pulled through for sure. But all of that was cumulative. Just hasn't happened though, has it? Luke ain't hitting on nothing. Muhammad Gay. Dyson went down in shooting. Like literally, Dyson is shooting like 12% from 3 or something crazy like that right now. Y'all saw how ugly that 3 was he shot tonight? Like that was terrible, wasn't it? He had 8 points tonight, guys. What are we talking about? Stuff ain't been working out exactly as we wanted it to. But to continue to say it's one person is just a lie. It's a falsehood. It's a fib. It's more than one person because there's more than roster. One person can't give up 152 points, and I just how that's not possible. I just showed it to you again, and I'll keep doing it because I'm going to show you that Spurs game too. I'm going to show you tonight's game eventually as well. So that being said, make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page right there. If you want to hear some more Hawks talk in the near future, I do have some Falcons talk coming. It's been a minute. I've been working on it. So I'm going to do something hopefully before the end of the weekend. I've been gone for a while, but I'm back. So I'm going to be trying to get that caught up. But listen, the moment that the Hawks decide that winning a championship is important, we'll win a championship. Because we have pieces to be able to do it. We just don't have enough pieces yet. Also, by the way, and it's one thing I forgot to mention, coaching. We don't have the coach. I've been mentioning this for the last 3 years. We have a coach who still believes he's coaching in Utah. He can adjust. He doesn't know what he's doing out there, guys. He just doesn't. I'm sorry. He gets out coached every time he gets on. He gets out coached. We're wasting talent right now. We're wasting it bad, though, in a bad way. Did you see the lineups? Did you see? It was just mystifying to just have Trae and JJ on the bench at the same time. It was awful. You just shake your head like, what are you like? You don't want. I don't believe they watch tape, guys. There's just no way. There's no way you can never have adjustments in the little things, much less the big things. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, I just had to throw that in there too, because remember, 5 things makes you win. Having an owner that wants to win a championship and does what's necessary to win a championship. 2, you have to have a manager that makes wise decisions over time. Look at OKC. 3, what's going on with my computer now? 3, you have to have a good to great coach, you have to have good to great players, and you have to be healthy. How many times since 1966 have the Hawks had 3 or 5 of those? Right? 3 or 5 at least, right? The Hawks have 2 appearances in the conference finals, and that's it. That's how bad it's been for all these different ownership groups, spirit group, right? All the different general managers, all of the coaches. How many good coaches have we had, guys? We've had plenty of good to great players, though. But just think about how much help. Again, Jalen Johnson played 36 games last year. We were 18-18 in those games. The year before that, he played 50-plus games. He has 1 season where he's played 70 games. 1. Health has a lot to do with it, guys. But this year, we proved we had enough depth to one of our guys being hurt for a long period of time. He came back. We were above 500. We've never done that before. It counts. You're supposed to be good still when your guy goes down. You're supposed to. Y'all don't care about that. Y'all just, we're better. But I'm like, but we lost 10 games by 120 points or more without Trae. What are you talking about? We're better. How are we better? Define better. We got beat by the Wiz. They had 1 win. Define that. Got swept by the Spurs once, and they won once without Wemby. We've gotten beat by the Pistons 3 times. 2 of those were blowouts. All 3 of those games were without Trae. And there's that one game we held the Pistons to 99 points. He scored 68 points in the paint, though. 58 points in the paint. Like, what are you talking about? That's disgusting. And we lost that game too, by the way. Y'all praising a loss. Y'all chasing down losses now. Okay, I'm going to get out of here for real. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page. Pass this along to other Hawks fans. But listen, again, the Hawks don't lose games because of Trae Young. The Hawks lose games because the Hawks lose games. That's the word. One player can't lose a game on their own. They can't. They can't win a game on their own either. Might look like they can, but they can't. There's 5 starters. There's at least 5 bench players. There's a couple of reserves. It's the whole team, and everybody has to do their job if they get playing time. You pass the ball. You hit shots. You block. You steal. You take charges. You set picks. You rebound. You get back on defense. Everybody has jobs to do, and the teams that have more people to do their jobs, they win more than those that don't. Period. Look at the Lakers. JJ Redick, practice going to be uncomfortable because he just watched his team on national TV not block out, right? Not get back on defense, not contest shots. Whole team. LeBron, Luka, whole team. That's what happens. All right, guys, y'all take care. I'm going to get out of here. Again, one more time, this was Hawks versus Bulls, December 21st. Hawks lost 152-150. I just showed you how the Bulls beat us. Hopefully you paid attention. Hopefully you appreciated everything. My next game review will be coming up, hopefully before the end of the weekend, so stay tuned. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab.
What is going on?
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect.